Yo, and welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. My name is Sanji. With me is Ryan. How you doing, boy?
Welcome. I am good. It is a long ass game week, isn't it?
Yeah, last game tomorrow. I mean, depending on what you did with your leagues. Some
That's
leagues, it's over. Some leagues, you have something to play for tomorrow.
Yes.
Yo, have you noticed Ross creeping around our Discord?
I saw him today. Yeah.
It's good to see him in there.
It is.
So many new channels to explore, you know.
Yeah, and the order of them have changed up thanks to you.
Yeah.
Fan roles assigned thanks to you.
Yeah. We had some admin work, overdue admin work.
Yeah, for sure.
So everyone's got like colorful titles and yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Champions League happened tonight to timestamp this Tuesday evening for me. Well, you as well.
Yeah. Arsenal's great by it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good game. It was like fairly even, I would say.
Okay, I didn't watch, but pens is never where you want to be.
No, but I mean, David Raya came up big. They got knocked out of Europa last season, right? Because of pens against Sporting, I think.
Okay, I cannot recall.
So I think so, and I'm assuming that was Ramsdale back then as well. So because David Raya only came in this season for them, right? So
Yeah, it was this season.
So yeah, I mean, changed the keeper, did something right.
Did you see the one where he luckily came off his back foot?
Yeah, his calf or something like that.
Yeah, and it went out. Like, that's so chancy.
Yeah, jammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're through. There's 2 more games tomorrow. What is it? PSV Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan.
Yep.
You'd expect Inter to go through. They're smashing Serie A at the moment.
Yeah, but like Jake said, they just perform badly in all other places.
Yeah.
I still expect them to go through, yes.
How's AC doing, by the way? Your boys?
Third, they're comfortable in third, I would say. It's like we shit the bed, Juventus shit the bed, so we're in earshot of second, but first is so far out of reach. Inter just smashing it, right?
I mean, Ruben is absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah. So, what's good otherwise? Your game week going well?
Which game week? Fantrax, you Champions League,
Yeah, not the best captaincy choice tonight, but it's alright. I mean, there's good stuff to focus on with your title charge, your own title charge, so.
Yeah, it's a slight bit dicey at the moment, but hopefully I pull it off. This game week, that is.
Yeah, other results are also going your way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll dive into that. So welcome to another episode. Welcome to Banter Boys. We're default Fantrax pod. So typically how we do these pods is we have 2 halves. In the first half, we do a bit of a data dump. So we look back at the previous scoring game week. So I know like game week 28 is a double, but usually when we have doubles, we'll treat the game week like a single game week just for like the data dump stuff. Also like recording times of pods and etc. So, I mean, Bournemouth Luton are tomorrow. So whatever numbers you're hearing are pre that match. And then after the data dump, we catch up in our leagues, basically league updates, see how our teams did, what we're planning to do for the next game week. And it's like a hot topic, especially with the massive fucking blank game week. Like, people will be lucky to like field, I think, like 4 to 6 players at the moment. But I mean, let's see how we kind of shape up and what risks we can potentially take. And then after league updates, we take our halftime pint. And then after that, we jump into Discord questions. Because I think Twitter is just slowly dying, I feel. Like all the engagement is in Discord, so definitely come hit us up in the Discord. If you don't know how to join, DM us. We'll send you a link. Don't worry, easy peasy. And then we round things off with FA/waiver picks because we weren't able to do Sunday picks. Like, I mean, community leagues and stuff all have their waivers moved to Thursday, and I'd assume other leagues also move to Thursday, Friday. So even if we did a waiver pod, things can change. Player updates, injuries, there's Europe, midweek, all kind of bacchanal is going on. And for those that don't know what bacchanal means, that I guess chaos would be the right word. But that's what we have planned for today. Now I think what we'll do is social plugs. So Ross, do your thing right here.
Yeah, for sure. So you can message us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handles at BantaB. On Discord in the Draft PL channel, Banta Boys #6585. On Reddit, /Banta_Boys. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all under the name of Banta Boys.
Okay, so hopefully you've listened to Ross. If you're listening to us on YouTube, if you haven't already hit that like button, the thumbs up button, we'd really appreciate it. Or hit the follow button or subscribe button if you aren't already a subscriber. And then platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you're able to give us a 5-star rating, it would go a long way. I mean, feel free to even leave a comment, right? Just let us know what you think of the pod, etc., etc. But yeah, happy to hear from you always. So, that's my full spiel. What should we do? Data dump?
No. Let's not give the people what they want. Yeah, I have no thoughts. Like no banter topics come to mind at all. Oh, you know what? Europa Cup last ditch. Euro Cup last ditch chance of getting tickets is tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, it's in my calendar, buddy.
Yeah. So we can't mess up there.
Yeah. I'm going to be absolutely unproductive at work tomorrow. Hopefully my boss doesn't listen to this, but...
I mean, what's the difference from the usual?
Yeah, true. All right, let's jump into the data dump.
Ay. Fantasy with the Banta Boys.
So looking back at Game Week 28, we're looking at key passes to start. The highest number recorded for the game week so far was 7 by Iwobi, then 6 key passes by McNeil, then 5 key passes by 3 players, Bruno Fernandes, Christie, and Hamer. Thoughts, Ryan?
Christie, I'm sure was dropped in a league or two. It's crazy to see that kind of performance in a double game week.
Yeah.
Hamer had a haul of a week too.
Yeah.
Kind of unexpected because Sheffield have just been so bad. The rest, I mean, I don't want to say standard. Like, Iwobi putting up 7 is not standard. McNeil 6 is still not standard, but you're not surprised to see these guys on the list. Bruno as well, finally back on the key pass list where we expect him to be.
Why is he giving away penalties?
Yo, I don't know. He was about to haul, like, first potential proper haul of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, Rashford, you have a go.
Yeah. That was a bit annoying. I mean, hopefully it hasn't screwed anyone out of a win or a loss, but yeah, man, fuck sharing. Like, I want points.
Right.
It was interesting to see in the next tier of key passes, there were 6 players that got 4 key passes each, and half of them were Bournemouth players, with one coming off the bench for only 27 minutes.
Yeah, a bit nuts. They really turned it on in the last bit of that game, though. And you really have to question why leave it till that late. Like, It's Sheffield, guys. Come on.
What's mental is like the players we thought or considered or discussed gambling on from the bench hauled both Cine and Dango.
Dango was a drop for me. Like, I know we discussed it, but he did not start, and I'm so annoyed with myself.
Yeah. Is that unlucky? No. I mean, you gotta gamble to win, right? That's
Yeah,
the problem. So.
That's like, yeah, Sinistero was rostered by several managers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, credit to those, and they benefited from it. Dango, I don't know. There are times where he doesn't even get a look. If they were ahead of by say 2 by halftime, I think it would be a very different game. So I'm not regretting the drop, but I agree, right? You do have to gamble to kind of win.
Yeah. Yo, Iwobi has actually come back from AFCON with some red hot form though.
Insane.
Last 3 game weeks, I think. If you look at key passes for all players, he leads the way with 14.
And there's still returns in there, as in goal
Yeah.
returns.
Yeah. He had like what? He has what? 2 goals in 3 games?
I think it's 2, yeah.
Oh man, what a tempting pun for any other format. Seeing these numbers, yeah, he's on good form, man. Everything's going through McNeil as well. Like, I'm seeing a lot of chat in our Discord about people considering going for Everton assets because you're in like this part of the season where if you're doing trades, you kind of want the players that are fighting for their lives, has something to play for. Oh, you know, they need to win games. They need to score goals. So
Yeah, agreed. Nothing else to add there, really.
but I mean, like you said, it's fairly standard. So I think what we can do is move on to the next category, which is shots and how many on target. So the highest number of shots attempted for the game week so far is 7 by Muniz. He had 2 of them on target. Then 6 shots attempted by Eze, 1 on target. Semenyo had 2 of his 6 on target. Then 5 shots attempted by Bruno Fernandes, who had 3 of his 5 on target. McNeil had 0 of his 5 on target. And we talked about Dango just now. He came on as a halftime sub. He also attempted 5 shots, and he had 1 on target, which was his goal. So, thoughts, Ryan?
When last have we seen Bruno on both the key passes and shots list?
Great point.
Like, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Great point.
So glad to see that. McNeil also on both. Didn't do great on getting them on target, but in the right places. Muniz, man. Ghost Machine.
Kid is so good,
Potentially
man.
Ghost Machine.
He's so good.
He is good.
I mean, Brewer is getting minutes off the bench now, eh?
Yeah, I saw. Got the assist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Semenyo looked way better than Dom did this game week.
Yeah. I mean, update from like that game. Did you see Iraola's comments about Solanke feeling better?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like something was slightly off there.
I can't believe he missed that penalty.
Yo, that was a crazy slip. Like,
Are Kirka's owners unlucky, by the way?
very, very, very.
You know, he should have scored right at the end of that first half. He had a shot on goal.
And it's very likely that he does not start the next one, right?
Yeah.
Given how Dango played.
Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. But yeah, all the standard biz. I mean, speaking of Bruno being, in both categories, etc., where do you think he sits total points for the season so far?
6th?
Oh, close. 5th.
Okay.
Mo is 6th. Pascal Gross 4th. Phil Foden 3rd. Watkins 2nd. Saka 1st.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, next category, accurate crosses into the box. Highest number for the game week was 4 by Jacob Murphy, who came on as a sub, I think, for
Injured
Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to believe about that news about him potentially being out for like 6 to 9 months, or maybe how might see how he does in training. Like, I don't believe any injury shit that comes out of Newcastle anymore.
How is the worst? Like,
Yeah, absolute fucking worst. And second highest number of accurate crosses in Game Week 28 was 3 by no other than fucking Doughty. So
standard at this point.
I mean, we talked about it last part, right? We was like, we have to see him in this category pre-double game week stats.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
for sure. Like,
Yeah.
he's always here now.
Yeah.
Murphy, man, he had a belter, didn't he? I heard. I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Great fucking finish.
Oh, yeah?
It was fantastic. I didn't watch any football live this weekend, but I caught all the highlights and all that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't watch much myself, but there were a lot of ghost point sharing, I would say, this game week.
Mm.
Like, very little points on offer for popularly owned players, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
I
good
see
point.
a lot of low scores across most leagues.
I wonder if
but-
that's kind of reflective of like our DPL league. A lot of the top managers didn't perform as well this week, right?
They definitely didn't. But then, like, the random Iwobies smashed it. Palmer smashed it. Like,
Yeah.
Son,
Nico.
Mudrick.
Muddy. Did you see that Muddy goal?
I
Go
did
watch
not.
that Muddy goal. That reminded me of what Hazard did versus West Ham. Like, just dribble through the entire back line and tidy finish, kind of.
Right.
I mean, was it Livermento on the line that kind of ensured it went into the net? But listen, it's still Muddy's goal, so
Yeah.
cool. Extra categories. Tackles one, there was a high of 5 by Kukurea. Dispossessions, there was a high of 4 by Almiron, Ayew, Foden, and Jacques Gomez. Interceptions, there was a high of 5 by Caicedo, Hamer, and Destiny. Clearances, there was a high of 12 by Trusty. I thought it was interesting that the second highest number was 8 by Jack Robinson, so basically 2 Sheffield United players. Successful dribbles, there was a high of 6 by Kudus. Aerials, there was a high of 13 by Metham from Bournemouth. And block shots, there was a high of 4 by Burke, Casemiro, and Evans. Thoughts, Ryan?
Nothing too stand out-ish to me. It does, like, Sheffield players are making this list. It still highlights that they have a lot of work to do. Even though they pulled off a draw, I still don't credit them as a good team. Avoid.
Yeah. Agreed.
Hamer did have a lot of points and has avenues to many points, though. Has many avenues to points, though. So
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that you'd back any team with their home form. That's the games that you try to win, or it should be easier to win. But as terrible as they are, they're less shit on the road.
yeah.
So, still though, I don't want to get in discussion of trying to reason or logic. Can we play a Sheffield United player? I'm not doing it. Sorry.
Agreed. You know what I hate though? The vast disparity between Kudus as a ghost machine and Bowen. Like,
Kudus was unlucky to not get an attack and return this week, I thought.
did he not get the assist?
Oh, well, I mean, the assist, sorry, let me clarify. Was unlucky to not score a goal. He had a chance in the box, absolutely fucking skied it. But yeah, he got the assist, so.
Oh no, he actually didn't get credited the assist.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Really?
So he put up
No.
12.5 and just goes.
Wow. And half of them being dribbles.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
admittedly, Bowen did not do his usual 2 points or 0 points when he doesn't return. Like 8 points from Bowen, I think, is sufficient.
Surprisingly sufficient.
Yeah. But it's Burnley, right? You expect more.
Next season, if you're drafting West Ham players, Kudus goes first, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Mavropanos.
No.
Joking. Areola, though.
No.
Obviously. Yeah, no, it's Kudus without a doubt. James Ward-Prowse is up there still, too.
Yeah, true. True. The early sub in this game worried me though.
Yeah, it's a bit of concern.
Yeah. Kukurea back in the Chelsea fold. Would he be a streamer rest of season pick like after this massive blank game week?
Nah, not for me. Don't want that.
Fair. I gotta shout out our zero hero though.
Yo, Mepham.
I think I'm winning our mini game, by the way.
Ah, shit.
I mean, they both got like a game on tomorrow evening, so
True.
Yeah. but I think I'm winning. So
You are. At least my pick did not get injured.
no.
Luton defenders dropped like flies, so
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he was like the only centre back that stayed on the pitch.
yeah.
Yeah. They both made the data dump though, so that's big up to us. So
Fair point.
all right, let's move on to the next segment then, which is the league updates. All right, Ryan, how is your DPL going, buddy?
Yeah, so my DPL matchup is a close one. Not over yet, obviously, but I'm at 70.5 and my opponent's at 70.75. I have 4 players left to his 2. Rossi Barks for me, Jordan Clark, Clivert, and Adam Smith versus his Kaminsky and Cook. So I think it could go either way, actually.
Yeah, interesting like setup at the moment. It's nicely poised. I guess you need Bournemouth to score.
Bournemouth score, and I think I'm safe.
Bournemouth score and
Ish.
Bournemouth clean sheet would be ideal.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Even just Barks doing what Barks does should be enough, though.
Debatable in one of my matchups, but I mean, I would prefer scenario A. Scenario B is
Fair.
just like icing on your cake. So
Fair.
yeah.
The game week good. I actually don't have many game week good players. I have Ben White, who absolutely smashed it.
He's
2
been
assists.
like a whole since your draft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Darwin, who got the assist for the penalty, but that was pretty much my only 2 returns in my entire squad. Game week regrets. I benched Mac against your judgment, my better judgment. I just can't refuse the double game week, yo. Like
I know.
I
but-
saw Jordan Clark. I was like, if he plays both, he puts up 5-ish in both. That's 10. Mac is probably gonna do less than 10.
How much did
Um,
Mac drop?
16. I mean, he was on 0.5 before the penalty or something.
Yeah, but he's class.
He is.
And nearly won another pen.
I know.
Was it a pen?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is it a foul outside the box? Do you think the ref calls a foul?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. I don't
I thi-
think so.
Like, I think Doku's stupid for like putting his foot
Foot
that
up.
high up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't fault him for going for the ball. Like,
Same.
no.
What is it? Roster concerns. I just have a bunch of dead assets now. Osho did not make it through the first game. Adam Smith is obviously not a long-term hold. Clivert probably isn't one either. So it's a bunch of assets I'm gonna have to drop and chase blank game week assets now, which is a good place to be, right?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that segment in the second half.
Yeah, and no waiver or FA picks yet because waivers didn't clear.
Yep.
How did DPL go for you?
I think I already got my win in the bag. I think my opponent is all out for 43. I think I've got 103 with 2 left to play.
So just
Uh,
negative like 30 each, and he stands a chance.
Yeah, I was actually trying to calculate how that could actually happen. Because I've got Kirkes and Mepham as my last 2 players. Red cards, own goals.
So own goals each. Luton scores about 10,
Yeah.
and then they both get red cards.
Yeah. Rossi Bark 10 goals.
Nice. Nice.
That should be fine. It should be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, if you're in this scenario and, you have dud players in your bench or, you can play duds, like, just play duds, your winners in the bag. Because we've
Yep.
seen managers risk, like, 5-point leads. It's like, oh, maybe I should play my last player. I mean, it's happened to you against me as well,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, yeah. Game week good. I mean, list of players, right? That kind of helped me get 100 plus. Kelleher, Meffa, Munoz, Eze, Garner, Nico, Tony. No regrets. But the concerns, I guess, now moving forward is, especially you're talking about like, a lot of assets in our rosters that we can potentially drop, stream new ones. Liverpool don't play until after the international break, and maybe Allison is back by then. So I'm wondering, maybe I drop Kelleher now and just grab a player because I probably won't have a goalkeeper anyways moving forward.
So is there no blank goalkeeper available?
I've got to check, to be honest. But I
Okay.
mean, even if I don't have a goalkeeper, I can use that spot as an extra outfielder maybe? I don't know. Would it be illegal if I don't play a goalkeeper?
I think it would be, but I guess you can always roster one at the very depth of the game week,
Yeah.
even if they don't play, right?
Yeah, like use that, at least that roster space or whatever to grab an outfielder, and then decide on the day, okay, maybe the outfielder didn't start, then I can drop him, and like you said, just grab any fucking random ass goalkeeper, because there'll be a lot of like, there's like a glitch in Fantrax, right, where players that don't have a game week remain eligible or movable, I think, throughout the game week.
Yeah.
So exploiting that is probably going to be a tactic a lot of managers use for this upcoming game week. Like you talked about dropping, the likes of Smith. I think all Bournemouth assets are potential drops other than Solanke or maybe Neto.
Yeah. Semenyo might be a hole. I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's very much matchup game week dependent. Yeah.
Yeah.
How badly you want that win, right? Other concerns are my blank game week stashes scored shit. Toffolo got 0, Domingos got 1, and Jensen yet again no start, got 4 points. So I'm thinking this is probably his last opportunity or chance on my team. Even if he scores points, I feel like I'd probably drop him after this game week, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
Would you drop either Trippier or Jota this game week?
I don't think I'd drop Trips ever.
Yeah.
Jota, I did drop when his injury first came. I guess he's on his way back slowly.
Maybe. I haven't seen any news. Maybe I should
Yeah.
look for some.
I guess, yeah, the news will dictate those moves, but at this point, you held Jota so long.
Yeah.
Why not just hold it up?
Yeah, exactly. Waiver picks, like you mentioned, no waivers for us until Thursday. So what is your banter situation?
I won there. We did not count the double game week because we counted it the first time around with the postponed game. I'm trying to remember. So I won 95 versus 85, but I actually had a very healthy lead leading into that Chelsea Newcastle game. And my opponent had Isak, Jackson, someone else, Livramento, maybe one other, and it was just like they were ticking along and slowly catching me, but luckily didn't get over the line. So that win put me in first place in the standings again. Game week good, not that many. Again, I had Mefam, Bruno. Bruno had a really good game, and Dalo. Game week regrets. I benched all my hauls, yo. I benched Palmer. I benched Iwobi, Casemiro. So I initially forgot that this wasn't going to be a double game week. So I played a player like Clivert over the likes of Palmer. Obviously, I wouldn't do that otherwise.
Yeah.
But fine. Didn't hurt me in the end. And roster concerns, it's I guess the same. I have a bunch of streamer spots now with Clivert, Who do I have here? Kirkaz, Mepham, all gotta go. I'll grab some single game week players. Have some fun.
I mean, out of those 3 Bournemouth names that you mentioned, which one would you hold?
It depends on how long Senesi's out for. But Mepham looks like he can ghost.
Yeah, man. Yeah, agreed. I'm kind of tempted to just keep him and see how the game week goes.
Yeah.
So for me, IGL kind of nicely poised like your DPL matchup. I've got 98 Kirkez and Mepham there versus 106 plus Rossi Barks. So Bournemouth clean sheet should get me over the line.
Right.
But it's gonna be tight. Because I mean, I agree with what you said earlier. I don't think Kirkez starts. Like, I'd be surprised.
You never know.
Yeah, true. Game week good. Mepham, Bruno, Garner, Nico, Tony. So a couple of similarities to DPL. Regrets. I don't know if benching Vista versus Arsenal can be a regret because he only got points because of the goal.
Yeah, I also didn't state him as a regret in DPL, but because I think it's the right decision. Like,
Yeah.
on paper, you bench him every day.
Yeah, Arsenal best defense in the league. So,
But then Wiss is a monster right now. So,
yo, man on form.
yeah.
Uh,
Overhead kicks for fun, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Roster concern, we talked about it and we will talk about it, is what are we doing with our Bournemouth assets? And then Maguire, Paulinho, Gakpo, and Buemo. Would you drop any of these guys in the blank? I mean, Paulinho, obviously he plays in this blank, but he was benched for the game that, you thought he'd come right back into the starting lineup for.
Yeah, very strange one. I still would hold though, at least till I see more. And again, like you said, he has the fixture, right? I think I'd drop Maguire happily.
Yeah.
Johnny Evans is a better player. No, I'm joking.
I mean, it's funny though, like that Maguire/Evans spot is scoring points.
Yeah, it is.
So maybe if you want to keep Mags, you grab Evans.
Yeah, but then you gotta use two blankers.
Yeah. So maybe not.
Yeah, I would happily just drop and make it someone else's headache.
I'm tempted to drop Gakpo now that Salah's back, Darwin's back, like the gang is back.
Yeah, other managers have said they have and not look back and they're better off for it. I get it.
Yeah. Cool. And yeah, no FA/Waiver picks here again. So I think what we'll do now is take our halftime pint and we'll be back after the break with questions and picks. So we'll see you in a bit. And we are back.
What did you have for your halftime pint, Sanjit?
Oh, look at you jumping straight into the question segment. I mean, we might as well kick things off there.
Yeah.
First couple of questions, like you mentioned, both from like Pi and Andrew. They want to know, do we actually have a halftime pint during the pod? And, can we get an announcement of what the halftime pint is? I demand transparency.
So, I think when I started podding with you early on, it definitely was every pod.
Yeah.
You'd even hear the cracks, like the can open noise on the pods. I mean, given when the time we pod these days, I usually have a bunch of crap to do after. I need to be alert and productive. It just means I crack more beers on the pod now, right? No, I haven't done a halftime pint in maybe about 6 to 10 pods. I know we did one like randomly. We probably only done 2 for the season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of stopped drinking in the last few months, so that doesn't help.
True.
So, I mean, what else do we do? I mean, I usually go take a piss, but
refill water, tea.
Yeah.
Um,
You had the
Sanchez-
much better response to that question than I did.
Sanchez drying up his tears that it's still on the table from last week.
My tears and my tea. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I can't believe I spilled that tea. That's what I was doing halftime, but I spilled the fucking tea, so.
Yeah, exactly. What would you drink on? So sorry, jumping ahead into Andrew's question though, can we get an announcement on what the halftime pint is? Well, yeah, you said it already. Sorry. What would you have drank when you were drinking on the pod?
Probably just beer, I think.
But which beer in particular?
Whatever I had in my fridge. But no, I try to get like an IPA or something like that.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
a can of IPA. Yeah. Something chilled. I can't do beer and ice like you fucking rebel.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's also it's not by choice.
Yeah.
Is it not a draft pint, Mr. Nauru? That was quality.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh yes. All right. We have one actual Fantrax question though.
Oh, do we? Do we?
Yeah. Do you want to ask it?
Sure. It's from Zach0918. Gotta be something behind that number.
I think birth date and month or something.
So he's born on the 18th month, the 9th day of the 18th month.
Oh,
18th.
listen, if it's the 18th day of the 9th month, it's my dad probably. I wonder if my
Oh,
dad is in
really?
my Discord. Yeah. Maybe
No,
this
throwing
is
us
dad.
questions. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So Zach asks, what do you think about offering Gardner for Ulisse in a playoff league? The context, and he said we are free to skip the context, but we're never going to skip the context. He is second in his table. He's 7 points clear of 7th. Top 6 make playoffs. His other mids are Madison, Iwobi, Gordon, Garnacho, and Dominguez. First place is 23 points clear of him in second. Jesus.
That
So,
is domination, bro.
that is crazy. What are you doing to line up best for the playoffs, I guess?
I'm assuming he means Garner from Everton?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'd probably take the punt. Like, why not?
If you can get Ulisse for Gardner, definitely, right?
But are you expecting Olise to actually get minutes rest of the season?
Late on in playoffs, probably, yeah.
Maybe.
You expect him to be managed when he comes back?
Yeah, I mean, that hamstring injury has been, like, fucking him up all season, so...
Yeah, fair.
It's like Neto as well. Like, are you expecting much from Neto rest of the season?
I guess not. So then, but like he's asking it because he has a decent set of mids already. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't.
No.
Gordon's probably shot.
Yeah. Like, Madison, Iwobi, Garnacho, I think you're 3 boss mids right there.
Yeah, and then if Gordon was fit, then he's good. He can risk it on Ulisse, but now I'm not so sure.
I mean, Garner's getting good ghost points. Everton are fighting for their lives.
Oh yeah, Garner's doing great,
Yeah.
but it's like probably an asset he wasn't using that much.
Yeah. I guess we're a bit split on that. Interesting. Should we flip a coin for him?
No, I think with Gordon out, he should keep the playing one, the one that's fit right now.
Ah, okay. So Gordon out, keep Gardner. Gordon in, trade for Elise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I really wanted to flip a coin, by the way, but okay.
Go for it.
I'm afraid I'll spill the tea again. Okay, those are our questions. Not much else. Do you have any other like questions you want to throw into the mix? Because usually we get more than this, but I feel like I had a question lined up in my head for you, but
Yeah, I have one. So, okay, it's a blank game week coming. It's a really big blank.
Yeah.
Do you typically look ahead at your fixture and assess how many like players your opponents has and at least try to match number of players? Or do you just go with what you have? You think you have better players, or you try to cover his defense if he has any and just hope for the best?
I mean, I would only try to match defense if I couldn't fill out my forward and midfield spots.
Okay.
Because defense has been a shit difficult spot to waive all season.
Right.
If I can't get those, I'm wondering whether or not to just focus on Game Week 30, rest of the season, grab assets that other people are ignoring for this game week. Because I feel like there are definitely going to be some gems floating around some leagues. Because people are just trying to roster as many as possible for 29, and I don't know if it's worth it. Like,
I got you.
like
That's
I get
actually a really good point.
yeah,
And you can pick up a great player, very little fab because he's not the attention of many.
yeah. So like, I'm wondering if, for example, let's say Ederson is fucked rest of the season. Like, he came off injured, right?
Right.
And the only goalkeeper you can swap to, for me, for example, like, I'm creating a scenario where I can go Kelleher to Sells, right? Or do I go on Ortega, with the possibility that I have a Man City defense, which, I mean, yeah, they concede every once in a while, but it's a good option. Like, we've seen in the past, Ortega is able to get good ghost points, good save points, and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
so stuff like
point.
that is what I'm thinking about right now.
Sure. I guess, and you can also play it by how the game week progresses as well. If you realize, oh, look, I have a 20-point lead, a goalkeeper, even if they add 2 points to this 5 points max, isn't really going to help. Or I'm already 40 points behind. What's the point? Yeah. You can then pivot from there. I don't like to start the game week off thinking, it's lost or like I shouldn't just try for minutes. But I get your point.
Yeah.
If there are better assets available then and being overlooked, might as well grab them. Look forward.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, lots can change because of that international break as well, right?
True.
I think there's cup competitions going on, internationals, all sort of stuff. So players can come back from injury. Like, players that you bet on now might not be potential assets in 30, 31 moving forward, etc. But you never know.
Bet on
DCL.
DCL.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go there, but I mean, for example, there is, like, looking at Beto even, right? He started the last few games, and now he's starting to show a bit of point potential, etc. And if you're fucked at forwards and you want to grab a forward, etc., like, why not look there? So I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get into this now because FA/Waiver picks is our next segment, right? So let's just do that.
Sure.
So for this segment, we're gonna look at picks that are under 40% owned, because we think you have a better chance of getting them in your leagues, and hopefully these assets can make a difference in your game week and rest of season. So we'll start with goalkeepers, and we kind of separated it into assets that, well, I mean, these are all good performing, decent assets to kind of consider, right? But we've kind of separated them into assets that are playing this game week versus assets that are, potential rest of season picks. So, yeah, goalkeepers.
Where do we start? I'm going to start with Sells. Mostly because he plays the blank. I actually grabbed him in Banter League last game week. He did not perform for me this game week. What did he end up on? 5?
That many? That seems like a lot.
6 in the end.
That's not bad, actually.
It's not horrible, and that's why I kind of throw him out now. All he did was concede 1, right? So 3 saves, conceded 1. I think it's like a high claim in there. Something. 5.5, whatever it was.
And it was kind of a shit goal
5.
they conceded as well. So nearly kept the clean sheet, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 3 goalkeepers you can maybe consider for this blank game week, which is Fleck and Sells and Trafford. So
I mean, of those three, the thing is, we've seen Burnley score goals.
yeah,
But of those three, the best fixture is Brentford, right?
I mean defensively, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Burnley have only scored 2 in their last 4 games, and those 2 came in their last game week. So,
Of course they did. Of course.
so I mean, stats wise, Flecken is the pick.
Yeah, but we know he doesn't do well unless it's against City.
He did well against Arsenal. I guess
Yeah, I
teams
know.
that shoot a lot. So
I guess.
yeah, Arsenal are like, City 2.0 sort of thing. So makes sense. But yeah, so that's my thinking. Like, because looking at like the assets that aren't playing right now, is there anyone that you'd maybe grab? Let's say you don't care about this game week.
If Ederson is confirmed out, I wouldn't mind Ortega. Like you
Yeah.
said, I think he goes way better than Ederson. It's funny enough, I don't know how that works, but it's the same defense protecting him, but he gets more saves.
Yeah.
Ortega's probably the only one I would consider though.
Agreed.
The rest are like what? Johnston, Dubravka, Grbic, Kelleher, and Verbergen.
Yeah. I'm assuming if you're not going for Marino, the goalkeeper that you own already is probably better than the list that we just went through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or just go for a single game weaker. A non-blanker.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to defense then. So we'll start with, I guess, the assets in the blank game week.
Sure.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start Burnley. Because I think all of these assets would be heavily available.
So
Any-
who's the least of the worst? Or the
Yeah, the
best
best of the worst.
best of the worst, yeah.
Arsenio?
Best of the worst. Yeah, I mean, he didn't start last game week though, I think.
No, he started.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only 1.5, but he did.
Okay. I guess you'd look there. But what are you expecting? Nothing?
Key passes. Nothing.
Passes, yeah.
Probably nothing.
Probably.
Let's move on from Burnley. Bad
Yeah,
place to start.
I see. No, that's the thing. It's like looking at these Burnley assets. I would rather roster a future pick than a Burnley defender at this point,
Fair point.
right?
Munoz, for example, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Eight Nuri with what he's been doing.
Yeah, right. Maybe Matt Doherty because Wolves are just ravaged with injuries at the moment. So
Ravishing Wolves. Okay.
I mean, speaking of Burnley, their opponents, Brentford, they've got a few options we can consider, I think.
Yeah, I'm eyeing up Mads myself. I want Mads.
You should get Mads. You shot him a while ago.
I heard Reguilon's not the worst off. He potentially can make it in time for this.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. I think so. It's a light hamstring. I don't know what a light hamstring injury is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Man, hamstring injuries are funny, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it should have kept him out longer than this, so never know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, if he's ruled out for that blank, would you drop him?
No, I think he's on sets, and I'd keep that.
You still like that upside, yeah.
But Brentford have a lot of defenders free. So Mads is one we shouted, but there's still Ayer there, Collins, Zanka.
Collins only scored versus Arsenal.
Did he?
On, yeah. Like crossed the ball into the box. He had a decent header, Ramsdale save. I kind of like him as a potential pick, actually. I mean, I know Ayer or Ajer or whatever is ghosting well, and I'm writing about him in my waiver article at the moment. So I think Roslev, I agree with you, should be the first Brentford defender, but I'm a bit torn about Collins and Mayer. So
Right. Okay. I think I'm leaning towards Collins myself, but that's more because I think I don't even know what to think. I've seen him do decent in the past, and I just
yeah.
yeah.
Would you pick up Zanka as a coverage pick?
Not really. I don't think he offers much.
So you put Zanka with that same Burnley defense situation rather
Probably, yeah.
go future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where else can we go?
Aston Villa defense. Do you care about them at all? Not so much for me.
I'm expecting them to concede.
Same.
I mean, both Aston Villa and West Ham are playing midweek as well, right?
True.
So who knows if any of these assets are going to be available to us?
Very fair point.
Actually, there's one, though, out of those two teams. Aaron Cresswell.
Is Emerson out that long?
I don't know, but I hope so, because Cressy looked kind of fit, man. Like, he was putting in good crosses, good corners, like...
What he end on?
6.25, I think.
Okay, not bad.
It's not bad.
It was 2 conceded, right? Yeah.
And I mean, if JWP is having like weird moments with Moyes, then Cressy has that ceiling, man.
Agreed. Any love for the Fulham boys besides Tosin? We've plugged Tosin so much right now. Like, if Tosin's free, go get him, guys.
Yeah. Bassi, I don't really expect much from Castagna. Is just way too much of a seesaw form. Like, smashes the one game, negative the next game, I feel.
See, the issue with them is it's Spurs, and Spurs always score now.
I think Spurs are just gonna thrash them. Like, Spurs are coming back to their best again.
Yeah, Maddie's clicking again.
I mean, they lost VDVA to another
True.
hamstring.
Very true.
So I guess we could shout Dragosin.
Yeah. That's who came on. I think he had an okay game.
Yeah, looked okay. Passing forward. There was a short little clip of his performance, like montage of his passing, etc. in our Discord, if anyone's interested to see. I heard somewhere else on like maybe a different pod or something like that, he's an absolute unit. So I'm wondering, like, possible set piece threat? You never know.
Maybe. Did he also get a yellow card? I can't recall. I think I did remember seeing him. Yeah, he did get a yellow card. Knowing nothing about him, I could see that side to him, though. Could be wrong.
Yeah. Forest boys.
Yeah, you say this always better than me.
Omobamidele.
Delay. Okay. It's such a fun name to say, though. Got the own goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Surely that doesn't strike twice. Get him now, guys.
He's scoring in the other net now.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got a taste.
No, if it were the Forest boys, it'd be Nico for me. Most likely, I'd want him because I think he goes the best out of the lot, and then Toflo maybe after that.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they're away to Luton, and we talk about Luton like being great at home, but I feel like, man, this game week as well, it felt like one of those weekends where you thought you know what's going on in the EPL, you thought you knew the teams, but they were like unpredictable results, performances. And what if like one of the random clean sheets that you get is the one versus Luton? Because at the end of the day, Luton is still a promoted team and a team that's fighting relegation.
Yeah, fair point.
And
Possible.
I feel like everyone is on the Luton Town train, right? So if you're going to try and go against the herd and punt the other way, Forest are, I feel like, the team to kind of punt on.
Right. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think I'm trying to weigh up the benefits of, do I go for another team that does not play in the blank over Forest. For example, Eight Nuri, like we shouted already.
And
Munoz,
Evans.
even.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that keen to roster Evans though.
Mepham?
Maybe Meffam. Cucurella, not really, but maybe.
So I know you went back to your Luton boys as defensive options for this double game week. How did that go, by the way?
3 points from Osho. 3.25. Not bad. I would have accepted that and double it if he were playing the second game. He's a dead asset, and therefore it backfired. Actually, no, it didn't. I played him over Share, and Share ended up on -3 or something. So,
Are you gambling on any Luton defensive assets for this game week?
I mean, they're all shot. It depends on who's fit, but I don't trust that defense now that they're all injured.
Yeah, agreed.
Livra's an interesting one.
Yeah, but Trips should be back, right?
You would think so.
Yeah. Because international break, there's enough time for Trips to rest, so.
Fair.
But I mean, it is an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on, so.
Yep.
Cool. Let's move into midfield.
It's much smaller list, so thankfully we can just start with the players who play the blank. I'm gonna rule out the Forest boys because of how badly Dominguez did for you this week.
Ugh, it was so bad. I don't know if to drop though.
I mean, his average over the last few isn't bad, right? He was ghosting well up until that game week.
And it's a Luton Town team, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to hold. So,
Fair. Any love for Danilo at all?
not really.
Not really, right?
Not really.
So, Luton, though, I rostered Chong and Bash. He only got like 5.5, but I'll take that. I rostered Clark in DPL. He got 4 points. I'll take that. It's half of the double game week over. I'm hoping they at least double what they've done in the first half. And then I'm okay with that. But I'm not sure if I'd want them for a single game week.
Are you
maybe-
starting? Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe Chong more than Clark for sure, but
Would you start Dross off the bench?
Andros, he got the assist, right?
Yeah.
He's a quality player. They have so many injuries. I could see him getting more time. I can see I could see utility out of him, but I still don't want to go there.
Yeah, fair.
I just feel like Luton are kind of with the injuries in a rut a bit.
So you'd look future player versus Dross then, right?
Yeah.
Assuming Dross is on the bench for that game.
Or I'd grab like a Fulham mid versus Spurs or something.
Yeah, like if Lukic starts again, he's at a good steady Eddie to start, same as
Yeah,
Harrison Reed. So
Exactly. And he'll have to put in the work. So
yeah, I mean, if you don't want to punt on Dross and like all these other options, we're not talking about like future picks. I think some worthy mentions are like Wharton, Joe Willock as well as ghosting really well since being back.
yeah.
If Gordon's out, Jacob Murphy comes back into the fold as a possible option, though I think Jacob Murphy's still a streamer on his day. I think Willock is more of a stash.
Fair point.
And I think João Gomez is the only other future pick I'd stash.
You mean you don't want Hamer?
I'm good.
Yeah, fair.
Any-
Brentford, Burnley. Any love there?
Brentford or Burnley? I mean, Onyeka, we've been talking about like he seems to be the pick since Jensen is even not nailed anymore.
Yeah.
Would you start Jensen off the bench? Would you risk that?
Maybe.
So you think you'd wait on lineups for him? Like, let's
I
say
think
there's a
so.
really good blank asset in your pool and Jensen's the only player you can drop in your roster.
I'd drop him then.
Yeah, okay.
Onyeka didn't put up anything though this game week, right?
No, I think he was fairly quiet. I think Janelt came good this game week.
Right. Yeah. I'd still want Onyeka most, I guess, out of the Brentford mids.
Yeah.
Dams is a good outside shot.
Yeah. I'd love for him to get a start. That would be
Same.
some good blank game week shithousery
Same.
just for him to disappoint you. So.
Oh, yeah. Burnley.
Burnley.
Josh Cullen.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about him. I looked good on the eye test. I mean, the eye test performance, he didn't score points. It was this one he scored points.
Yes.
Kept Brownhill on the bench.
Yep.
So, yeah, 14 points is kind of it's nice. It's nice. I
It
think
is nice. Even if you take away the assists, right? Like, it's not bad.
Yeah. So I mean I think he's with a start. Same as Sanderberg. I think he's like the same steady Eddie as like Reed and Lukic.
Yeah. And I mean, guys, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but
Absolutely scraping. Yeah.
it is that kind of game week where you
Yeah.
just want an asset that plays.
Basically.
Are you ever going to touch Calvin Phillips?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Forwards.
Mateta.
See, now this is an interesting pick that doesn't play this game week, but is performing, surely available, I think, in most leagues.
Yeah, probably. So, or if he isn't right now, he will be probably dropped because
Yeah.
he's still kind of viewed as a streamer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw out a few names then. Mateta over Fofana. Fofana plays the blank.
But Fofana's getting 90 minutes in every game.
So that's a no.
Yeah, I think I'd go Fofana instead of Mateta.
Okay. Mateta over Antonio.
Yes.
Over Origi or Chris Wood.
No to Wood, yes to Origi.
Yeah, like you said, Mateta's that kind of interesting pick where he's returning, right?
Yeah.
He will be on bench, in some waiver pools. Do you want to waste a spot on him in a blank?
The only person I'd do it for, and this is purely vibes, is Adama.
Ooh. Man, if my game week is going to rubbish, like if my opponent has 8 players to my 3 or something, I'm going on those high ceiling picks like Adama, you know.
Yeah. And that fixture is like nicely poised, right? It's like smack dab middle of the game week in terms of like timing. So, you know, I'm actually writing about Adama in my article. And one of the things I kind of was curious about is last 3 game weeks, out of all players that have scored points but hadn't started the game, I think he scored the second highest as a sub.
Very nice.
Right?
Who's first?
I'm
Brennan? No.
trying to remember. I wonder if I still have the Excel sheet up somewhere. Dango.
Oh, right, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Hall.
Yeah. Franca is there, Mudryk is there, Enes Unal, Luis Sinistera.
Is Brennan Johnson not there?
No.
Wow.
I
okay.
don't think so. Because I took 0 games started in the last 3. So
Okay.
I think Brennan started one of those, so yeah, this is like pure sub appearances. And Adama, bro, he's been averaging 8.5.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, a goal and an assist. And the other interesting thing I thought as well, trying to logic the Adama pick, I sent you a link to this. I was looking at like when teams kind of concede goals during the duration of a match, and these numbers I'm pulling from a website called soccerstats.com. And if you look at like Spurs in their, I guess, the breakdown of when they concede goals, they concede most of their goals in the 76th to 90th minute.
So when the subs are on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is basically, so I'm basically trying to like physics/math equation logic my pick of Adama right now. I'm like, he comes on as a sub, Spurs usually concede late, Adama brace, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if there's any other forwards that are worth discussing though.
Woodrow,
Wouldn't row.
KLP, or Mopai.
Oh, you completely missed that joke, but
I heard it. Yeah. No.
I wouldn't. I would rather go future pick than KLP because if Regs is out, KLP I think played wingback and he did fuck all there. So
Yeah, okay.
Mope, I would rather go future pick.
Sure.
I think same with Odebear, same with Brun Larsen.
Fair.
Debatable though. Brun Larsen did well for you.
He did, but I don't expect him to start. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, there really isn't anyone else, I think.
Yeah.
So cool. Should we kind of I'm wondering whether we should pick 2 players each, not mini game. I mean we can do mini game if you want to lose again, but
Wow. It's like 4 rounds in and he's finally winning one.
hey, I gotta get in my trash talk when I can. So
Yeah.
but I mean, given how like weird it is in terms of like picks, why don't we do this? Why don't we do 1 blank pick each and 1 future pick each?
Okay. I could get behind that. Blank pick. So any position of forwards only.
Any position.
Blank pick.
Or we can go each position. I don't know if there are that many options though for each position.
So okay. I'll start on defense. We can ignore goalkeepers, right?
Yeah. Ignore goalkeepers. Let's go each position then, yeah.
Yeah. Starting on defense, for me, Dragusin.
Okay.
That's my blank pick.
That's your blank pick. I think my blank pick would be Toffolo.
Okay.
It's between him and Cressy. I want to say Cressy, but I'm unsure about the start. So
Fair.
yeah.
In terms of future, 8 Nuri, man.
Yeah. Hard to argue that one. I mean, Munoz shouldn't be available in your league. So I'd
But if he
probably
is.
go, huh?
But if he is.
If he is, definitely go there. If not him, then I'm looking Meffam/Evans.
Okay.
Midfield?
Midfield. I want to go Onyeka this week, actually. I'm just feeling something.
Yeah, that's fair. Slim pickings, boy. I think I'll go Cullen.
Not bad. I like that. And for future, I actually like Jacob Murphy, despite how much you think he's a streamer. I'm going Murphy.
You like pain, don't you?
I do.
Joe is at that 40% mark, Joe Willock, so I'm gonna go João Gomes instead, 26%.
Fair enough.
And forwards.
For the blank game week, I'll go Chris Wood.
Yeah, I love that pick.
Yeah.
I think he got a brace against them last time, eh?
Was that not a hat trick game? Okay, I can't remember.
No, that's Newcastle.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Such a good hat trick, yo.
Yeah. Blank pick, I'm gonna go Adama.
Fair enough.
Because I genuinely will try for him, I think. So
There aren't many future picks on this list, but
Mateta.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's it. Those are the picks, and that is the pod. Another one in the books. How are you even looking actually for your matchups in your leagues? Are you gonna butcher your team? Any chance of winning, or are you just gonna let Jesus take the wheel and enjoy your weekend?
Butcher, not so much. I think I I have already got more players than my opponent, maybe like 2 or 3 more. If it stays that way, I mean, after waivers clear, I'm good with that. Just hope for the best at that point.
Fair. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of dropping good assets just to win one game week.
Same.
Because, yeah, I don't want to win next week and then rest of the season is just misery and shit. So
Yep.
Cool. Any closing remarks, final words, thoughts, advice?
I mean, it's nearing that point where, 1, we have playoffs to consider, and 2, it's like double game week, blank game week season, where 34 is going to be another set of chaos. I guess if you're comfortably in playoffs, you can ignore 34, because I guess playoffs typically start 35, 36, 37, 38, around there. Maybe even just 35, 36, 36, 37, 38. So, I don't know. How much do you plan ahead and how much do you just play it by ear?
I mean, I'm starting to eye playoffs right now. I think now
Yeah.
I'm gonna start, especially with the international break. It's a nice time to kind of evaluate your roster, maybe consider some trades, make some trades.
Right.
Look at the teams that have good fixtures in that playoff period. So game week 36, 37, 38.
Fair enough. I guess it's something we could look out for and kind of pod on in time for international break.
Yeah. We might have a bit of a gem episode international break as well. Try to bring Megan on. So
very nice.
yeah, should be good. But yeah, that's it. Usual advice, have fun.
Oh, for sure.
But I'll see you when I see you, bro.
All right.
Peace.